What's going on, guys? Welcome back to brand new video. I'm here to bring you part 5 of my F1 2016 career mode series. At the moment you can see we are doing the track climatization test, and we do in fact get a perfect score. So that's 50 resource points in the bank, and straight away. And now onto the tyre wear test. You can see that we've got 2 purple laps and 1 red lap, and at the moment we're in the purple once again. And we come around the final corner and we get another 50 resource points added to our bank as we get another purple time. And looking on to the end of practice 1, those are the resource points. We got 120 out of 175. We weren't able to do a qualifying pace the first time around, and we were only able to get 20 out of 25 resource points from the team objectives. Looking at the resource points at the end of practice 1, you see we are now at 881, and we go into the laptop and we actually don't show that bit for some reason. Coming to qualifying pace test for practice 2, you can see that we actually lost the car and lost our left front wheel. So that meant that our practice 2 was over. And look at a replay now, you can see that we're coming up to, I don't know what turn to the chicane it looks like, and it looks like we just lose it and then we are in the wall. Quite a weird crash actually, to be honest. And the resource points we get for practice 2, we get an extra 23 resource points, and that takes our total up to 904. And now I believe we go into the laptop and then go to the upgrades, and yes we do, and we choose to upgrade the engine for a second time because we're coming up to other tracks like Monaco, where it's not too important, but we're coming up to places like Canada as well, where engine power is very important because obviously it is a very high speed track. And now as we're coming on straight into Q3, we're coming through the final chicane, which was added in 2007, and coming around the final corner. We're in P10 at the moment, so we're only sitting 1 lap I believe, and we come open up the air, come across the line, and that puts us in P7 ahead of our teammate at the moment. And at the end of the session we actually end up in 8th place behind our teammate Jenson Button, and Daniel Ricciardo takes up pole for Red Bull with Nico Rosberg in 2nd and Kimi Raikkonen in 3rd. Max Verstappen in 4th with Vettel in 5th, Hamilton in 6th, and then 2 McLarens with Jenson Button, my teammate, and myself in 8th place, Felipe Massa in 9th, and Sergio Perez rounds out the top 10. And now looking at the resource points that we get for qualifying, we have 46 at the moment, and we are now getting an extra, I believe it is 95, and now we have 141 resource points. Look at the rivalry update, we are actually beating Carlos Sainz already, and now we are beating him even more by getting everything on him, over on him. And now as we are going to look at the team position, we are exceeding the team's objectives at the moment. We are still continuing that because we would actually be on something like 15 at the moment. And now onto the race.
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like Kung Fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, and I just want it. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get.
So now we're looking at the race strategy, and it looks like a one-stop today, starting on the soft tyres and going on to the mediums. And we are just lowering the fuel a bit because we don't really need that. And now as we are coming on to the race, 5 red lights seem to be on for an age, and now we dump the clutch and we are away for the Spanish Grand Prix, and we get a fairly good start. We actually go in between the middle of Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button, and we've now boxed in, which isn't very good going into the first corner, and it seems like Button and Hamilton get a better start in the second phase. Button breaks very early and we break later, and Hamilton actually goes up the inside of Sebastian Vettel, and it looks like he has pass done, but no, Vettel's fighting back and now Vettel's ahead, and we have to run wide a bit, and it looks like we have a very good run on Hamilton now, coming out of turn 3. We're in line with him, we dive up the inside and get up in 6th place. Next up is Sebastian Vettel, and it's like Kimi Raikkonen is now taking the lead of the Grand Prix, and we got through on the inside of Sebastian Vettel, slight lock up on our front left, but we do in fact make the pass, and we're up into 5th place in the Spanish Grand Prix. At the moment, it seems like Raikkonen's 3rd, so it even seems like Ricciardo leads the race ahead of Verstappen leads the race ahead of Rosberg, then Raikkonen 3rd, and Ricciardo in 4th, myself in 5th, and Sebastian Vettel in 6th. Sorry. And now on to lap 3. You can see that we are behind. Kimi Raikkonen is now taking the lead. We are behind Daniel Ricciardo, and we've been very close to the last 2 laps, as DRS is now enabled on this lap as well. And we are now going to dive up the inside at turn 4, I believe it is. We're on the soft tyres, whereas Ricciardo's on the mediums because he qualified in Q2 on the mediums, and he's actually won. But we do the switch back up into turn 5, and we get the pass done on Daniel Ricciardo up into 4th place. And next up on our hit, and Vettel's actually got past Ricciardo as well, so Vettel benefited from my move on Ricciardo. And now on lap 4, we are behind Max Verstappen, and we had a look up the inside, but we couldn't make it because we were on purple in the first sector once again. And now coming up to, I believe this is turn 5, we got the inside, contact with Max Verstappen, but still trying to get past, and Max Verstappen wins out that race. So we weren't able to get the last podium place, unfortunately. But now coming on to the end of lap 5, we are now coming into the pits, as it looks like Rosberg is also pulled in the pits. Verstappen continues on for another lap, and we are now just breaking down the line. We just about broke and got to the speed limit as Rosberg is pulled in. I think Vettel has followed us in, and as Red Bull, so I think Ricciardo has also followed us in. And yes, it looks like he has, as now we pull into our pit box, and on go the medium tyres, and we are now held, unfortunately, for Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari, and that's like a 4.3 second pit stop. So now we've been put on the back foot, and it looks like we're going to rejoin 19th Hamilton that passes us on the hard tyres. And I'm not entirely sure why I paused it here, because we don't do anything from this for some reason. But no, let's carry on with the race. It's lap 6, and we rejoin as Vettel is actually battling Hamilton. And that actually helps us out, because now we're able to go around the outside, and we actually lost it there because that was a very late move, and we actually run off the track, but we do in fact get ahead of Lewis Hamilton and up into 18th place. So once all the pit stops sort themselves out, we will actually be higher up than this, as now we are going on to lap 11, and Vettel is now stuck behind Jolyon Palmer, Renault, and that means we have now a Vettel in our clutches. And we dive up the inside up into turn 4, and we're actually battling with Vettel. Vettel's still there, holds it up around the outside, and then we dive up the inside doing the switchback as Jolyon Palmer has a massive lock up, and Vettel is still there on our right hand side. So this is great battling in between the four-time world champion. And now we go through the chicane. It's never a good idea side by side, but we're still side by side, still no contact, still very good racing. And I believe we both had DRS here, and we open the DRS, and we are still side by side coming up to the hairpin, and coming up into the hairpin we brake and go down into the second gear, and that's actually a car on the inside, and we now and now there's yellow flags, and I believe that was Ricciardo spinning behind us, and now we are up into 8th place ahead of Sebastian Vettel. And next up we have Palmer and Magnussen, so the 2 Renaults. Then I believe there's Nico Rosberg in the Mercedes. Coming through the final chicane, which was in 2007 to slow cars down, Magnussen pulls into the pits, and I believe we should have the DRS on Jolyon Palmer. Yes, we will, but Vettel will also have the DRS on us. So, and we're quite far away from Palmer, and look at the speed that Vettel has. He's pulled to the right hand side, and now it depends who can outbrake the other person into the first corner, and we outbrake Sebastian Vettel and maintain 6th place in the Spanish Grand Prix, as now we are going to set our sights on Jolyon Palmer. And now coming on to the end of lap 12, coming through the final complex corners, Palmer is now in 5th and is ahead of us, and he is holding us up. He's just been placing his class so well, so he couldn't get past, but now he pulls into the pits, and we will have the DRS. But again, Sebastian Vettel did without the DRS on us, and this time it's clearer, and this time Vettel's got much better run off the final corner, and he just breezes past us with the DRS. So we're going to have to try and see what we can do with the DRS again, and just see what we can do against the 4-time champion. And it looks like we have lost out this battle, but we are still very close to Vettel, so we're not leaving touch just yet. We are going to try our best, and it looks like we have a good run on him here, but he still just seems a bit too far ahead, so we can't get past him. And that was in fact the last we saw actually of Sebastian Vettel in this Grand Prix. We couldn't get any we couldn't get any closer, and we couldn't put a pass in them until then. Now coming through the final chicane, Kimi Räikkönen has won the race as Nico Rosberg sets a fast enough for the Grand Prix, and we come around the final corner and come across the line in 5th place for our first race on Legend AI. It was a challenge and it was fun, and I really enjoyed it. Next up is Monaco, so I'm really hoping to get a good result there, and same for Canada, because Canada is also a very good track of mine. And looking at the results, you can see Kimi Räikkönen won the race ahead of Max Verstappen and Nico Rosberg in 3rd. Sebastian Vettel finished in 4th, with myself in 5th. Daniel Kvyat finished in 6th ahead of his teammate Carlos Sainz, with Felipe Massa finishing in 8th, and then the 2 Force Indias rounding out the top 10 with Hülkenberg and Perez. Unfortunately, my teammate Jenson Button just missed out on the points, finishing down in 11th. And now as we look further down, you can see that Lewis Hamilton actually finished down in 18th, surprisingly, and Daniel Ricciardo finished in last place after qualifying on pole. So a very different race. And there you can see that it is in fact Legend AI. So that is very so it's very difficult. And looking at the race, Daniel Ricciardo got 3 stop go penalties. So that is why he actually finished it in last place. And they were all for illegal blocking, so it might have been when he spun behind, I was not entirely sure. But now, going on to the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads the way 13 points ahead of Nico Rosberg, with Kimi Räikkönen in 3rd. Max Verstappen is in 4th, and I am in 5th ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull and Ferrari. Valtteri Bottas is in 8th, ahead of my teammate Jenson Button, who's in 9th, and then rounding out the top 10 is Carlos Sainz. Going to the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes continue to lead the way ahead of Ferrari, with Red Bull in 3rd, McLaren were in 4th ahead of Williams, which is where we want to be, and the teams yet to score this season so far are Sauber, Manor, Renault and Haas. So they will all be hoping to score points later on. But now let's go have a look at the resource points that we got for the race. So we now have 141 resource points at the moment, and now we get an extra 126 resource points to take our total up to 267. Look at the rivalry update. Again, we beat Carlos Sainz on pretty much everything. Of course, nobody wins podium finish or penalty free, because neither of us got that, unfortunately. And now looking at the driver position, we are in fact still exceeding the team objective by even more, and it seems like a trend that Gentleman might be able to qualify us more now. And now we actually have a contract event, so that's good. We're now obviously the first driver of McLaren, so we will be getting extra resource points at the end of each race. So yeah, it's been a good. So yeah, Spain's been a very good race for us, and I was very happy with the result. And to be first driver at the end of the race was a fantastic way to end it out. And you'll see that we'll be getting an engine upgrade for the next race at Monaco, and that'll help us in places like Canada after Monaco. But yeah, that's been it for this video, guys. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a big like, comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you are new for weekly F1 content. You can follow me on Twitter at Shadow_82. As always, there is a link down in the description, and music that you see in this video is also down in the description. But that's been it from me, and I will see you next time.